test. Measures the percent of red blood cells in the volume of blood.
What was the one?
A hematocrit. It's just a test. Measures the percentage of red blood cells in the volume of blood. Now, knowing what I told you about, here's where you got to do your word analysis. Knowing what I told you about cytosis and leukemia, if there was a deficiency in the number of white blood cells, what might we call it? But with that, think about that there's 5 mature types of white blood cells. So you got to go a little further, but it's a giveaway anyway, because as long as you know leukemia, you're set to go. You know, if there's not anything else here with leukemia. On page 523, I talked about this, and I said I absolutely wanted you to know it, and that was the shift to the left. And I went over that in the last class. Shift to the left, but you'll find that the book talks about it too at the bottom of page 523. Shift to the left. You're fighting off an infection in the bloodstream. There's a lot. You're losing the battle. You got an ominous infection. Mature white blood cells are not predominant in the blood anymore. You're seeing more and more immature white blood cells. You're kind of losing the battle. It's a shift to the left. Leading to the more immature white blood cells. What's a bleeding disorder caused by a lack of factor VIII usually? That one? They call it the hemophilia factor. Factor VIII, by the way. So the hemophilia. Read about that. There's an anticoagulant that is naturally in the blood. We want blood clotting all the time, so it's called heparin. Make sure you look up heparin. Remember I talked about there's a lot of different types of anemia, and I said there's one where you can't bring in B12 because people are lacking intrinsic factor in their gastric juice. What type of anemia is that? Remember? You can't bring in, you need B12 to mature red blood cells. You can't bring in B12, you're going to need B12 shots for the rest of your life. You have what's called pernicious anemia. Pernicious anemia. I talked about with a transfusion too, the shoe's got to fit. If you're just anemic in the hospital, they're probably just going to get attacked by blood cells. But if you go out here and you get in an accident where you're losing whole blood, chances are they're going to give you whole blood transfusions, right? Makes sense. Okay. Make sure you look up warfarin. Warfarin's the generic. Coumadin. Coumadin is the brand name. It has a big C. But anyway, a lot of people are on antibiotics. Antibiotic drugs. A lot of people are on Tratrofib, all kinds of things. DVT, they have deep venous thrombosis, but they have a prosthetic heart valve from Coumadin. So a lot of people are on Coumadin. Carpal tunnel syndrome, we talked about that today, so know something about that. Certainly know about osteoporosis. We talked a lot about that. Arthroscopic surgery. We talked about that on the knee today. I said know about osteoblasts and osteoclasts. Very important. What's the difference between osteoclasts and osteoblasts? I gave you an example of an exostosis today, a benign bony growth, and I said it was a classic example of a bunion. So look that up. Exostosis, look up bunion. That sac of fluid, that synovial fluid that's near a freely moving joint is bursa. And I said, remember, a lot of people get bursitis. So look up something about bursitis. In the 5 types of white blood cells, if someone's having an allergic reaction, you do the white blood cell differential. Which one might be elevated in an allergic response? Eosinophils. Eosinophils. What's the tiniest lymphatic vessels called? The very tiniest ones. Lymph capillaries. Talked about that. Remember, there's interstitial fluid in the tissues, and the minute it goes into the lymph capillaries, it becomes lymph. Stationary lymphatic tissue, call it kind of like the border patrol lymph nodes. Again, just know what interstitial fluid is. Remember I said, we talked about how lymph has a close association lymphadenopathy, but also just do word analysis, lymphadenopathy. We talked about AIDS. We talked about people don't die from HIV or AIDS. They die from opportunistic infections, but they also get certain types of cancers, which is all the skin cancer that's associated with AIDS. Kaposi's sarcoma. Kaposi's, so look up Kaposi's. Also, we talked about combination drug used to treat AIDS. It's called HAART. It's got a highly active antiretroviral therapy. Look up HAART. We talked about plasma proteins, and one of them that I said was very important was albumin. That's a great one to know too, because albumin attracts water from the periphery, but back into the bloodstream. The main thing is to stop the concentration of water in the blood. But look up albumin. You need to know about that, because all kinds of things can go wrong if you don't have enough albumin in your circulating blood. A good one to know. I said if someone has anemia, neutropenia, and thrombocytopenia, what do they have? When we were reading about aplastic anemia and talking about aplastic anemia, no formation, so they're pretty bad anemias. One that's really bad is pancytopenia. And a lot of times I said doctors will write anemia, neutropenia, and thrombocytopenia. And you have to know that's pancytopenia. Anemia means the red blood cells are down. Neutropenia means the most predominant white blood cell is down. And thrombocytopenia means your thrombocytes or platelets are down. All the formed elements of the blood are down. Therefore, they have a particular type of aplastic anemia, which is very severe. It's called pancytopenia, because pano means all. I said it gets reported wrong in the United States a lot because doctors are right. Anemia, neutropenia, and thrombocytopenia. We have to report it to the patient here as pancytopenia. Pancytopenia. All the formed elements are depressed and down. So a lot of times you can tell an anemia by the shape of a red blood cell. Normal red blood cell has to be biconcave. And sometimes all kinds of shapes of blood cells can cause particular types of anemia. If the red blood cell is rounded instead of biconcave, it's rounded, it's going to cause a lot of problems because it can't. It's very fragile and it can't carry oxygen properly. And if it's rounded, what type of anemia might it be? What's rounded? We talked about this one. Spherocytic. The sphere is round. But I wanted you to know that adjective in front of anemia. There's hundreds of anemias. We talked about macrocytic, microcytic, spherocytic, sickle cell anemia. The morphological shape of the red blood cell. If you mess with that, you're messing with a lot. It's not going to be able to carry oxygen, and a lot of times blood's going to be viscous or sticky. All kinds of problems. If I say anything's an immature cell, chances are it's going to end with what suffix? Blast. What are the functions? We talked about the three functions of the lymphatic system. Three functions of the lymphatic system. The drainage system, supports your immune system, helps bring in fats from the small intestine, in the villi, in the lymphatic vessels. So read about the three functions of the lymphatic system. Know how many bones are in the body. Know how we classify them. Know where blood cells originate. We talked about hematopoietic stem cells in the red bone marrow. We talked about that today. And we talked about it before too. And also make sure you know the difference between B cells and T cell lymphocytes. Know the difference between B cell and T cell lymphocytes. B cells, antibodies, T cells, mostly cell-mediated cytotoxic. Anyway, read about the difference between B cells and T cell lymphocytes, and you'll be set to go. See, the tests are giving just a little more meaning now. So, unfortunately, you only got